Hello. Good morning. What's going on? It's your man, Bad Association. I was up early this morning looking for, videos on witnesses again because this is what I do. And I found this little nugget, this little treasure. It's called Argument.mov. Only has 11 views, and it's an excerpt from the 2010 District Convention. So if you want to see it, get a chance to look at it now before it's DCMA'd. It's a demonstration of a young witness, and he's having trouble in school over the evolution versus creation problem because they're studying DNA, and his parents are going to help him. Watch how they help him.
Now, in the next demonstration, this involves a family, and the family has just concluded their family worship session. We want to look in to see how parents use questions to help their son defend his faith in school.
I really enjoyed our family worship tonight. Nick, you mentioned before our study that there was something that was concerning you. What is that?
What is concerning you?
When we were in school, we've been learning about the cell and DNA and biology class. And I was given some homework to do on how this was supposed to evolve. And my classmates are really strong in evolution. And of course, they know I'm a witness, so I think they're really going to give me a hard time about why through creation.
Alright, so the problem that he's having is that in school they're studying DNA and things like that, and they're given homework to show how the process evolved, or something around those lines. And so he knows he's going to have a problem with it because he believes in creation. And he says his classmates are really strong in believing in that, and I wonder why. Maybe it's because they're teaching it in school. And you're one of the few people who goes against it. Watch.
Nick, I know. What about that brochure? The one from the last district convention. The origin of life. I bet there's something in there that can help.
That's a good idea. And Nick, rather than feel like you should simply state your beliefs, your classmates are going to be asking you questions, right? So why don't you ask them some questions?
All right.
Well, Tina, why don't you get the brochures? They're there in the bookshelf. We've learned a lot about how Jesus Christ effectively used questions. Well, we can do the same. There we go. Well, let me ask you first of all, Nick, what did you appreciate about this brochure? Well, it was a great brochure, and I really enjoyed reading it. But
did you notice the generic response? What did you enjoy about it? It was a great brochure, and I enjoyed reading it. That gave no information.
The part I found most interesting was on page 21, the back of the question box. 21. That's the second bullet point. Okay. Yeah, and that's the part about DNA. Really fascinating section in the publication.
The point he's talking about is a bullet point that says that DNA's capacity to hold information is nowhere near basically how our computers can hold. Wait a minute. No, that's backwards. I'm sorry. Computers' memory is nowhere near DNA's capacity to hold information.
And it's talking about how DNA is packaged in the chromosomes in such an efficient manner. And the second bullet point, it talks about DNA's capacity to store information still has no equal in today's computer age. So you could formulate that into a question. You could ask, is it true that DNA's capacity to store information still has no equal?
Did you see what he did there? He read something from the paragraph saying that DNA's capacity to store information has no equal in today's computer age. Said you can formulate it into a question. Did you hear the question that he asked? Play it right back for you.
Still has no equal in today's computer age? And your fellow students know a little bit about it. Still has no equal?
Wait.
Is it true that DNA's capacity to store information still has no equal in today's?
Now, you see what he did there? He just took the exact words that were already in the paragraph and flipped them back on them. That's what the witnesses do. That's what the Watchtower does. That's what all their publications do. You ever see a publication with questions in it, and you try to answer those questions, the only answer to those questions has to be almost word for word from the paragraph, or trust me, you will get hell from whoever's studying with you.
Computer age. And your fellow students know a little bit about DNA and probably quite a bit about computers, and so they'll likely answer yes. And so you can follow up with that next question there. If human computer technicians cannot achieve such results, how could mindless matter do so on its own?
First of all, maybe we can't do it because we haven't figured it out yet. I mean, 1,500 years ago, we thought that we were the center of the universe. 500 years ago, we thought we were thought the world was flat. You know, so as time goes along, we get more insight on things. So we may not understand it yet, and just because we can't make our computers match DNA, that does not prove creation. How does that prove creation? It just proves we haven't figured it out yet. At least to me.
That sounds great, Dad. I can do that. Okay, and you know what? That last bullet point is very good, too. So why don't we do this? Let's practice. I'll play the part of your fellow students, and you can ask me the questions.
Thank you very much.
Hey, clap, 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 clap. So, now everyone's clapping, everyone's happy, and he feels he has a really strong argument to use in school. The problem with that is this: that's just one question, which doesn't prove anything. And I'm almost positive that he's going to get a lot more rebuttals from his classmates. And he doesn't have a leg to stand on, basically. I don't see that he has a leg to stand on. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. Like, yeah, it's crazy. That association.